some fire today. Yeah, no pun intended. You feel what I'm saying? We talking about the origins of original sin and the reason why the earth is becoming so hot today. You know, when you start dealing with a lot of these so-called ancient books, esoterical in origin, a lot of it is hidden information. You got to have the legend or the key in order to understand what is being taught to the world, what is being hid from the world. You see, and so, one of the prerequisites of understanding the Bible is is this. Number one, many references to God are solar references dealing with the sun. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. I believe, what is that? Is that Amos? No, that's not Amos. I get it. That's Psalms. That's one of the Psalms. Was it 84, 85? One of them. Okay. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Okay. That's a necessary prerequisite. It also talks about the God as a sun with healing in his wings. And so when you look at the Egyptian temple and you see the over the temple doorway, you'll see the sun disk, the winged sun disk, and the two serpents, which later became the symbol of the Caduceus, healing, Hermes, Mercury, the medical symbol with healing in his wings. So in that particular verse of Malachi, where it talks about the sun with healing in his wings, the sun was spelled with a capital S, which means that the son was the person of God. You only capitalize people, places, and things. So in that instance, uh, the son was the person of God. So when you understand that in uh in esoterical literature, God is the sun, the mysteries. God is the sun. When you look behind the head of the saints, of God, of Jesus, and all anybody that's considered to be holy or divine, they would have a halo behind their head. The halo is the sun. Let's deal with that. You see, and so, the sun is what gives one divinity. Did you know that? The sun is what gives one divinity. Now, when you think about the Garden of Eden, which was in Africa, and we know that Ethiopia, it was in Ethiopia, uh, and we know that it was no other place other than Africa because it says that in the garden, God placed all the animals. You understand? Almost all the animals started in Eden. Okay? That's what it said. And so there's no other landmass on the planet fitting that resume outside of Africa. Just know it don't happen that way. And so when you look at that, the Garden of Eden is in Africa, and it says that God put Adam and Eve out of the garden. Now that's very a very interesting statement because a lot of people say Adam and Eve are black, which is not true. They're not black. They're white. They're not black. See, you talking about a mankind. You talking about a kind of a man. This is not the original man, because when you think about Eden being Africa, the African has never been put out of Africa. Now, when it says being put out of Africa, what it's saying is that you don't have the physical makeup, the physical mechanism, you see, to exist in Africa. That's what it means to be put out. They wasn't indigenous to Africa. They was not indigenous to Eden. You see, they were outsiders because many times when you look at Adam and Eve, they are wearing animal skins. See, that's psychological. See, that's psychological. A lot of people don't look at that. The hell you gonna be in the middle of a paradise, obviously a tropical region, and you gonna be wearing bear skins as hot as it is. You in a tropical zone wearing bear skin. So that right there, see the psychological slip up, you know. They read that's a revelation right there in front of your eyes. And so you know, and so God put Adam and Eve out. And it says why? Because they ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The knowledge of good and evil. You see, and so there's a deeper understanding to that. There's a deeper understanding to that. But you know, what we want to stay on point with is that these were Europeans. These was Caucasians that were being put out of Africa, and that God is the Son, the S-U-N. And that original sin was the lack of having melanin. See, for it says, for the Lord God is a sun and a shield. So that melanin that's in our body, which is the shield, is the divine, the God element, you know, the God elixir. It is the presence, melanin is the presence of God. You see, this is what the Bible is saying. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Okay? Now if you don't have the shield, then you already know what it is. You don't have the shield, you don't have the elixir. Now, when you talk about Christ, what does Christ mean? To be anointed. You see, to be anointed. Okay? Anointed to do what? You could be anointed to do what? You got to take it deeper than that. What to be anointed? Anointed to do what? See, there's a lot of definition left out of that. There's a lot of understanding left out of that. See, in the Sanskrit, in the ancient Hinduism, they have a god called Krishna. Krishna. See, very, very similar to Christ. Now, in Sanskrit, you know what Krishna means? It means black. You see, it means black. But in Greek, it means to be anointed. See, they're separating a lot of the understanding. So yes, it does mean black. Yes, it does mean anointed. In Psalms, it says, he anointed my head with oil. You see? He anointed my head with oil. And see, that's key. The oil is a liquid element. The liquid element, the black liquid element that he anoints the head with is melanin. He anoints my head with oil. So that is very key. That's why when you speak about God, there's the element of blackness, there's the element of solar divinity. It's almost, when you go into a lot of the statues in ancient Egypt, you'll see black and you'll see gold. The gold is symbolic of the sun, and the blackness is symbolic of the primal matter of creation out there that you call a black matter, you know, that you call dark matter, black energy. You see, that's what it is. And so we are the physical manifestation. We are the cosmos made flesh. That's why when you go in us, every element that's in the earth, that's in the cosmos, is in us. You see, so we are the cosmos made flesh. Even inside of us, we got what they call a solar plexus. You see, which is a symbol, a piece of the spark of creation, of the sun. Just like you got in the earth, you got a piece of the sun in, or that fire, that divine energy, fire, solar energy that's in the center of the sun. That's what's causing all these earthquakes, the lava and all of that. That's a part of the sun. So a part of that element is also in us. They call it the solar plexus. And also that black matter, that divine matter is also in us. They call it melanin. Okay? They call it, and within the blackness of the cosmos, everything that you see came out of the blackness of the cosmos. So within that blackness, that melanin is the God energy of creation. You see what I'm saying? So the origins of original sin and talking about, and that's why you seeing that they were put out of, but Eden also includes a lot of the tropical regions on the planet, even though the central Eden is Africa. You see, especially in what they call off the equator, the tropical zone, the Great Lakes regions of Africa, where most of the animals is located. You see what I'm saying? But other aspects of the tropical planet is also an extension of that. Is an extension of that. And so, they know that the heat waves is a return of Christ. Is a return of Christ. Christ is solar melanin divinity. So the return of Christ is not no physical, it's the return of the sun, cleansing the planet. That's what's happening right now. They saying, man, skin cancer, or heat wave deaths, man, over 20,000 already. Already, and it's just beginning. But family, I just wanted to put you in your divine state of mind. We got some fire over there on Patreon. I want you to get over there immediately. We got some Too Raw for YouTube over there, and we about to drop the video on the Egyptian mystery system. And what's the other one we dropped? Oh, the Mayan king with an ancient Egyptian burial. We're going to prove that the Egyptian civilization had come to the Americas, was the foundation of the Olmec, the Maya, the Aztec, the ancient Nile Valley civilization was the foundation of most, if not all, civilizations on the planet. We can prove it. I want you in the house. Get over there to Patreon, and I'll see you in a minute. Black Pop.